Ich bin ein Bürger.
Mr. and Mrs. CAMPIXX friends, we are here right now in Berlin at the beautiful Müggelsee, and I'm sitting here with Odera. Odera just gave his his presentation about Retail 3.0 and about offline Google Analytics. So, Odera, nice to have you, and please drop some lines about you.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me. Well, a bit about me. I'm the founder and CEO of Viewsy. Viewsy is a location analytics company, and what we do is we make the physical world as easy to understand as the online world. So we do this particularly for retailers, where we generate intelligence and data to help them do similar types of tricks, and actually a few more that we've all been used to online.
Tell us a little bit more about when you got the idea to found Viewsy, and a little bit of the history background on your company right now. Where you're from, where you're going, where you stand right now.
Okay, sure. So once upon a time, I used to work at another company called Groupon, and Groupon at the time was a young but rapidly growing e-commerce startup. And whilst I was working there, I worked on the data and CRM side of the business. Whilst I was there, I really would hear feedback from merchants quite a lot of the time, saying, how do I know that you've not just given me people who I was selling to at full price yesterday as customers? And for those who aren't familiar, Groupon is a business which specialized in sending new customers to retailers. Now, we would say to the retailers, okay, well, we've just got a large marketing database, and I'm sure that some of those are new visitors that are going to visit you. But there was no real way of proving it. There was no real way of knowing. The merchants would say, okay, fine, let's assume that they are new visitors, and I've not just given this big discount to my old customers. How do I know they're actually going to come back tomorrow? And again, the Groupon response was not really one you could measure. There would be something we would say about, well, if you give good service, then hopefully they will come back a second or a third time. But again, we couldn't prove that good service really did bring anyone back at all. And this led me to thinking there had to be a better way. We lived in a world of loyalty cards and other types of loyalty apps, but it didn't really seem to answer the merchant's questions. So I figured there had to be a better way to understand what's happening in retail. This led me to creating a new startup in technology called Viewsy. And what Viewsy does is really answer those same questions that I started off wondering about how to fix, plus a few more.
Well, that's pretty awesome. With Viewsy, retailers and merchants now have new superpowers. Tell us more about the superpower on which data they can access with Viewsy, and what are new possibilities and new eras in the field of marketing with Viewsy.
Sure. So what's awesome with Viewsy is we generate data about a retail store in the physical brick and mortar world, and we do this to help those retailers understand everything from how many customers actually came inside, which they've always done, but now we actually add information to that to say, let's say, what percentage of your visitors were outside that chose to come in. So you could actually see the effectiveness of your window displays. Then you're able to look at things like, let's say you run a brand advertising campaign, and you want to know that the people who are coming to your store heard about you beforehand. This metric we create called stopping power actually shows that as well. Then once you've got customers inside a store, we create metrics to tell retailers how much time visitors now spend. You can measure time across different parts of the store as well, so you're able to look at it and say, well, the back of the store actually gets more time than we expected. Maybe we should put some more interesting products there for visitors. Then we're at the bottom of the funnel now, where we're able to then look at the metrics called engagement, which look at the percentage of visitors who spend at least, let's say, 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And based on the engagement metrics, you're able to actually use that to drive basket size up or drive conversion rates up of visitors as well. The bottom of that funnel is, of course, the transaction, when then you start to try to get your customers to become loyal customers. And we measure repeat visits as well. So if a visitor comes back a second time, he's actually counted. So you're able to, even if people are paying in cash, you're able to now measure how loyal your visitors are. We do all this by measuring the Wi-Fi signals that phones generate, and we create small sensors which you install very quickly into a retail store, and by that sensor being in the store, you're able to then see the percentage of phones that come in, how much time they spend, and all the rest of the metrics I mentioned.
Okay, so talking a little more about technology, there are in the 1960s, I think they invented the clicker.
Yes.
Someone was standing in front of the store and clicking if someone went into the store to get the kind of the number, how many visitors I have. Very awkward, right? But I think some retailers still do it. And very, very expensive digital cameras are installed. This is a technology as well. But you told in another interview that it's just a fraction of a cost of those whole new camera installations with your small sensors you can quickly install. How does the tracking technology exactly work? What can you tell us about it?
Okay, so the different technologies that retailers have used over time have been a bit like, let's say, hits on a website. Remember back in the year 2000, where we had hits on a website and we would count
the server log files, classic.
Yeah. Exactly right, the server log files, and those days that was the latest in counting technology. You had a hit counter, and it was very proud to show that you had 10,000 visitors. That's where retail in the offline world still is today. And what we're trying to do is help them move away from that into a world where you're able to tweak and optimize, let's say, the way we do online with changing the color of a button. You can change your window display. If you pop up a message to say to a visitor, hey, how about we help you through checkout, you could have servers trained to engage customers early and measure the results of that through the increased customer dwell time. Now, the difference between our technology and others is that Viewsy's technology works through the capturing of anonymous Wi-Fi signals generated by smartphones, whereas a camera would be great at detecting the number of people and counting people. And there's still a place for camera counting technology, but if you were to combine them together, what you get is an accurate count of people and then a good measure of their behavior. Of course, cameras are not very good at facial recognition yet, so it's also very hard to measure the repeat visitors, and then you don't need line of sight as well if you have a non-camera based technology that's able to detect people. So all of these mean that each different piece of technology answers different questions better than others, and then they actually fit together in a jigsaw puzzle. And the end result actually gives a retailer a complete finished view of what happens across his retail environment and his online environment, actually, if you take the metaphor to extend that even further.
We just talked about privacy. Privacy is a big word in Germany. I think the Germans invented it, and they're really serious about it. The big advantage of Viewsy is that you are cool with German government privacy settings. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and about the latest the latest achievements in Hanover in Germany? But at first, privacy.
Sure. Okay. So privacy is very, very important. I think in any shopping experience, you want to make sure that it's a positive one, whether it's online or offline. And what Viewsy is doing offline is making sure that we only capture details that are non-intrusive to customers, and not just using them for our benefit, but really turning it back around to the consumer benefit. So what we do is we capture the MAC addresses from phones, we hash those MAC addresses, then we transmit the hashed MAC address up to our server. So we don't actually have something, the original MAC address. It's also good because it retains its uniqueness. Now, if you compare something like the technology we use to something like Facebook, you'll be surprised to find that Facebook tracks so much more information about you, but because it happens online, mentally we're psychologically used to it. Where Facebook will track your location, read your messages, actually look at your likes or your friends, and much more. Viewsy only captures your location and doesn't even have your name, your age, your gender, or your phone number. We cannot message you, we cannot spam you, we cannot follow you at home if you walk out of the retail store. We don't do any of those things. So through this, we're very, very respectful of privacy. We've, of course, looked at the legal side of things, and we're very sure that we're on the right side of the law. We're very careful about that. That's very, very important. I think the only remaining challenge is actually for PR purposes, where retailers need to be able to create a great customer experience such that the customers know that when they see a sign that says, please note that Viewsy is used in the store, is for a good reason, not because they want to be spied on. If you can think about walking into a store and you see CCTV cameras have signs which will say, please note that CCTV cameras are in use in this store, and if you don't want to take part, you don't have to walk.
Don't steal, don't wear a mask.
Yeah, exactly. Don't steal and don't wear a mask. Just smile at the cameras, right? So we're similar. So we say, please note that we are using Wi-Fi scanning in this store, and if you don't want to participate, please turn off your Wi-Fi. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing illegal about it. We're not stealing your data. We don't know your picture messages. We cannot see your or anything like that. So it's completely safe. It's just a PR conversation. So retailers are comfortable and consumers are comfortable with it as well. I guess you asked about Hanover as well. Yeah. So we're lucky and honored enough that actually Viewsy was selected as the winner of CBIT's Code N award just a couple of days ago. And that was that.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a lot of hard work from the team and I back in London, and it's really just a great honor to be recognized like this. I think it really also helps launch Viewsy into the consciousness of the German marketplace. It's a great and very important market for us. We have our HQ in London, but we're looking at potentially expanding over here as well. And this really opens up a lot of doors. So yeah, it's a fantastic award. It's a fantastic platform to launch from, and we're very, very happy with it.
I think so, and again, congratulations that Viewsy won this very important award at the CeBIT this year in Hanover. And every retailer now watching this video, where should they go immediately to contact you? How can they reach you if they want to install Viewsy right away?
Right away, I would head to www.viewsy.com, which is spelled VIEWSY.com. And you can also write to us at hello@viewsy.com, and we'll be right in touch.
Perfect. Thanks, Odera, for the interview, and well done, Mr. Young, for this very special conference at Berlin Müggelsee, the CAMPIXX forever. Until next time, our CAMPIXX forever. Thanks, Odera. Bye-bye.